I created the greatest NBA player of all time. Think of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar mixed with Michael Jordan, mixed with Kobe Bryant, mixed with Shaquille O'Neal, mixed with some little bit of a LeBron in there as well. Add in Steph Curry shooting, and you have the greatest player in NBA history. Here he is, Mr. Ben. Bend over, baby. Very original name, I know. He's a 7'5", 291-pound absolute beast. He's going to be starting out on the Knicks in 2003, 99 overall, 19 years of age, wearing the number 69, and he's going to be playing on this Knicks team, which we all know was not very good in the early 2000s. We're in 2003, 19 years of age, and he's going to be directly competing in the same exact era as LeBron, who did get drafted second overall to the Cavs. He's an 84 overall, 18 years old. Not only are we going to break LeBron's record that does not even exist in this universe, but we're also going to beat him head to head. Now for the NBA, I mean, it's a much different time. We got guys like Ben Dover, who is the best player in the world. Kobe is on the Lakers in his prime at a 98. Tim Duncan is in his prime, 97. Kevin Garnett's a 97. Shaq is 31 years old, but still a 96 overall. T-Mac's a 96, only 24 years old, very young. AI is here on the Sixers. Jason Kidd is on the Nets. And we are just going to go ahead and simulate the entire career of Mr. Ben, see how good he can do up against LeBron in his era, and see if he can go down as the greatest player of all time. Before we do that, if you guys do enjoy videos like this, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss a single video that I put out. And we are 22-0 to start the season. Ben is going to go ahead and win the MVP, averaging 36, 18, and 10 a game. Probably the best MVP in the history of the NBA. He also shot easily 50-40-90, almost 50-40-100. He's also going to take home the Rookie of the Year. The sixth man will go to Grant Hill, and the DPOY also to Ben. I have a feeling he's never going to lose this trophy. He's going to make the first team alongside KG, Shaq, T-Mac, and Kobe, as the Knicks are going to match the 2016 Golden State Warriors 73-9, way before Golden State did it, as they grabbed the 1 seed in the East. Now in the West, the 1 seed would be the Lakers, who win 65-17. I have a feeling we're either going to match up with them or San Antonio in the finals. Kobe is actually going to lead the NBA in scoring at 37 a game, but don't worry, Ben is going to lead in rebounds at 18 a game, and assists, it would go to Jason Kidd, not Ben. And Ben has carried the Knicks all the way to the finals up against the San Antonio Spurs, who of course have Tony Parker, Richard Hamilton is there, Bruce Bowen, Tim Duncan, and David Robinson. That is an absolutely stacked team compared to the Knicks, who really don't have anybody outside of Ben. And predictably, the Spurs are going to dominate us in 5 games in the finals. Tim Duncan is your finals MVP, averaging 23 and 13. Mark Jackson is out here after 17 years. Steve Kerr is gone. Mark Bryant. Dwight Howard is going to end up going second overall to the Boston Celtics. Luol Deng will be going to the Trailblazers and is still going to be a 99 overall, 20 years old, and it does not look like we picked up anybody in the offseason, so we're heading into year number 2 with pretty much the same exact team. Ben is going to win his second MVP, this time averaging 42, 20, and 9.5 per game. Absolutely insane stats. Cameron Purdue is going to win the Rookie of the Year, the sixth man to Swift, and Ben is going to take home the DPOI yet again. On the first team, we have Kobe, AI, Ben, LeBron has made it finally, as the Knicks are going to be the 1 seed. Not as good as last season, but we did go 62 and 20 in the West. It was the Lakers who went 57 and 25, followed by the Grizzlies who were up there. San Antonio kind of fell off a little bit. They're the 6th seed now, and we are back in the NBA Finals, this time up against the Clippers, who, I mean, their best player is Elton Brand at a 90, but we do have Ben matching up with him at power forward, so we should be able to beat these guys, hopefully go on and win Ben his very first title in his career. And just like that, Ben has done it. He has led the Knicks to the NBA title, his very first in his career and the very first for the Knicks in a long time, as they have beaten the LA Clippers in 4 games. We swept the shit out of them. They were not even close to being good enough to beat us or even come close to competing with us. Ben is just out of this world and by far the best player in the series and the entire league, as we are going to be able to raise that Larry O'Brien trophy for the first time in Ben's career. Hopefully many more to come. I mean, we're still very early on in his career. Finals MVP, as he's an absolute monster of a human. Ben might have just low-key had, or maybe high-key had, the best closeout game in the history of the finals. 52, 21, and 10 in 4 42 minutes. For the finals, Ben is going to average 53, 19, and 6 a game. Charles Oakley is retired after 20 years. Rod Strickland is out of here. Horace Grant is gone. Glenn Rice. CP3 is going to go first overall to the Seattle Supersonics. And of course, this draft as well is not very great. They do have Channing Frye, who went to the New Orleans Hornets, who, I mean, is a role player at best. Ben is obviously still going to be a 99 overall, the best player in the entire league. Ben, of course, is going to win the MVP again, this time averaging 41, 19, and 9. The rookie of the year will go to CP3. He would average 19 and 8, a pretty good rookie season. Six-man Andre Miller and Ben Dover will take home the DPOI yet again. On the first team, we have AI, Kobe, Ben, LeBron, and Yao Ming, who is now there. What is he averaging? 22 and 15 a game. Meanwhile, LeBron is averaging 31, 9, and 7. Very good numbers for a 21-year-old. The Knicks are going to be the 1 seed in the East as we went 64 and 18. In the West, it was the Minnesota Timberwolves, who did go 60 and 22. Ben is going to lead the NBA in scoring, more points per game than minutes played per game. He's also going to end up leading in rebounds at 19 a game, but he would not lead in assists. That would go to Jason Kidd, almost averaging 10 per game. Now, I have a feeling we're going to live in the NBA Finals, kind of like how LeBron did in real life, but we are up against the Minnesota Timberwolves this time, who do have KG as their best player. He's at 98, so he can somewhat compete with Ben a little bit. And the Knicks are going to go back-to-back, winning another NBA title. Ben Dover is your finals MVP, averaging 48, 17, and 10. Yes, there was like 6 seconds left, and I literally forgot to go into it. I don't know why. But we did end up pretty much dominating the Timberwolves in 5 games in the finals. Hakeem Olajuwon is gone after 22 years. He retired on the Detroit Pistons for 2 seasons, only averaging 1 point per game. Andrea Bargnani is going to go first overall to the Pacers. Brandon Roy will be going to the Supersonics. LaMarcus Aldridge to the Bulls. Rudy Gay to the Hornets. Rajon Rondo to the Grizzlies. Ben, of course, is still chilling at a 99 overall. This guy we picked up in the offseason from Seattle. I guess he was averaging 11 and 10, so he should be a pretty good pickup. Heath Van Horn is also on our team. He was on Philly last season, averaging 17 a game. So it looks like we are making a little bit of moves. I mean, nothing crazy, but Ben is still going to carry this team to the finals. He also re-signed in the offseason for 4 more years at $46 million, which back then was a big contract. Now, not so much. Of course, Ben is going to win another MVP, this time going 44, 15, and 7 a game. The rookie of the year will go to Bargnani, the 6-man to Karl Bosch, and the DPOI back to Ben Dover. On the first team, we're going to have D-Wade, T-Mac, Ben, LeBron, and Shaq. That is a loaded first team, honestly. The Knicks are not going to be the 1 seed this season. That would be the Atlanta Hawks going 61 and 21. Meanwhile, New York went 52 and 30, grabbing the 4 seed. The Cavs are actually somehow better than us, but I think that's something to do with the divisions. In the West, it was the LA Lakers going 64 and 18, so we got to watch out for Kobe and Shaq. Still a duo. And just like that, I snapped my fingers just like Thanos, and we are back in the NBA Finals. This time up against the Lakers, who do have Kobe and Shaq. Shaq's a little bit washed at this point, down to a 92, but Kobe is still a 98 overall, so this should be a very hard matchup. And the New York Knicks are going to three-peat here in the 2000s, as Ben is going to lead them to 3 straight titles, beating the Lakers in 5 games in the finals. Shaq is going to have to go to Popeyes, very sad now, and hopefully eat himself to death. Regardless, Phil Jackson, one of the best coaches ever. We also beat him in the finals. Ben was just way too much. I mean, he probably averaged like 50 and 20 for the series. As the Knicks, for the 3rd straight season, are going to be able to raise that Larry O'Brien trophy, as Ben is dominating the NBA right now. And of course, he's also going to take home the finals MVP. Why would he not? He's by far the best player in the entire world. Just a casual 57, 14, and 7 game for Ben Dover. In the finals, Ben would end up averaging 49, 16, and 10, damn near a 50-point triple-double. Gary Payton is retired after 17 years. Alonzo Mourning is out of here. Penny Hardaway is retired as well. Vin Baker is gone. Glenn Robinson. Kevin Durant is going to go first overall to the Detroit Pistons. Greg Oden will be going to the Hornets. Al Horford to the Warriors. Mike Conley is going to the Pacers. Joakim Noah to the Bulls. Ben is still the best player in the entire world today, followed by Tim Duncan, who's a 98. Kobe's down at a 97 now. KG's a 97. LeBron is getting up there, though. 95 overall, 22 years of age. He's pretty much the only guy that can compete with Ben for the next, decade. Again, Ben is going to take home the MVP, of course, this time averaging 37, 14, and 9. The rookie of the year will go to Kevin Durant, averaging 22 a game. The 6-man to Rodney Stuckey, and the DPOI also is going to go to Ben. And on the first team, we have Kobe, D-Wade, Ben, LeBron, and Yao Ming. Ben is actually injured right now. He pulled left hamstring for 1 to 2 weeks. He should be fine. Maybe for one of the games in the first round. He might actually miss the entire first round of the playoffs. That is not good for the Knicks. As the Knicks are going to be the 4 seed in the East, going 51-31. Cavs were actually the best team in the East, winning 59 games. In the West, it was the Denver Nuggets. And I mean, since Ben did not even play in the first round, I'm not that surprised that we got swept by the Toronto Raptors. The baby dinosaurs beat us. As the Portland Trailblazers will go on and win the NBA title, LeBron is your finals MVP for the losing team. Shannon Ramsey is going to take home the finals MVP instead. He was the leading scorer on Portland. Evan Love is actually going to go first overall to the Utah Jazz. D Rose will be going to the Warriors. Russell Westbrook to the Hornets. DeAndre Jordan to the Bobcats. Serge Ibaka to the Grizzlies. OJ Mayo to the Kings. It does not look like we picked anybody of significance up in the offseason. We're pretty much rolling out the same exact team that got swept in the first round, minus Ben, of course, because he was injured, so we should be back to being the 1 seed and back in the finals, hopefully. I would also like to point out that Ben is listed as a demigod, which is exactly what he is. Ben, again, is going to take home the MVP, this time averaging 41 a game. The Rookie of the Year will go to Russell Westbrook, the 6th man to Karl Bosch, and again, the DPOY will go back to Ben. On the first team, we have D-Wade, T-Mac, Ben, LeBron, and Dwight Howard. What is LeBron averaging? Averaging 32, 9, and 8 a game. He's putting up amazing numbers himself, but really gets shadowed by Ben. The Knicks are going to be the 2 seed, going 55-27. Meanwhile, the Cavs would be better than us as they went 59-23. In the West, the number 1 seed was the Dallas Mavs as they went 54-28. Portland was up there, as well as Golden State. San Antonio's kind of fallen off, as well as the Lakers, as they're not even going to make the playoffs. They went 20-62, being the worst team in the entire Western Conference. They still have Kobe and Shaq on the team. I mean, Shaq is washed at this point, but Kobe's still in his prime. I mean, he did miss the playoffs in his prime in real life. That's for you Kobe stans that say Kobe is the best of all time. He literally missed the playoffs in the prime of his career. No other top 5 player has ever done that. And yet again, for a second season in a row, we are going to lose to the baby dinosaurs, this time in 6 games in the second round. As the Trailblazers go on and win the NBA title, Luol Deng is your finals MVP, averaging 26 a game as they beat Boston in 6 games. Man, Ben might need to leave the Knicks, honestly. This team is not very good. He's been carrying them for like the last 6-7 years at this point. Nick Van Exelen has retired after 16 years. Jalen 81 Rose is out of here. Steph Curry is going to go first overall to the Sacramento Kings. Brandon Jennings will be going to the Lakers. James Harden to the Heat. DeMar DeRozan to the Rockets. Blake Griffin fell all the way down to 5th to the Bobcats. Still no major changes to the New York Knicks. Ben is now in the prime of his career at 25 years old. Obviously a 99 overall, and his stats so far are absolutely insane. Basically averaging 40, 17, and 9 for a career. We did end up picking up Lamar Odom, though, 29 years old, 80 overall from the Atlanta Hawks. He's staying near 30, but he should be a serviceable player at least. Now, obviously, Ben is going to end up winning the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Steph Curry, averaging 20 and 6. The 6th man, again, to Karl Bosch, and the DPOY will go to LeBron instead of Ben Dover. And LeBron also averaging 39 and 7 a game. Finally stole that DPOY away from him. On the first team, we have CP3, Kobe, Ben, LeBron, and Dwight Howard. Ben is also injured yet again. A spinal injury out for the entire season.
Call him Mike Tyson because I broke my back. It's a spinal injury.
Now, the Knicks are going to be the 8th seed, barely even making the playoffs as they went 45-37. Cleveland was the best team in the East, and in the West, it was the Dallas Mavericks. And the Knicks are basically cooked here in the playoffs without Ben for the entire run. I don't see them even beating Cleveland. Oh, that would have been a tight... Oh, man. That would have been a great first-round matchup up against LeBron and the Cavs if Ben was healthy. And I mean, I guess we did put up a little bit of a fight. We lost in 6 games to the Cavs in round number 1. As the Boston Celtics will go on and win the NBA title, Dwight Howard is your finals MVP, averaging 26 and 11, as they would beat the Mavs in Game 7. John Wall is going to end up going first overall to the Rockets. PG-13 will be going to the Heat. DeMarcus Cousins to the Nets. Why is there... There's a Pat George and a Paul George in the same exact draft class. And it looks like Ben is going to be taking his talents to California. He signed with the Lakers in the offseason for 4 years at $70 million. And he's going to be joining a Kobe Bryant who's still pretty good at a 94 and a washed up Shaquille O'Neal. 81 overall, 38 years old. But this is a much better team than we had in New York. Ben is going to take home the MVP yet again, but slightly worse stats as he only averages 32, 14, and 8 a game. The Rookie of the Year will go to Boogie Cousins. The 6th man to Rudy Gay. And LeBron is going to take take home the Defensive Player of the Year award. On the first team, we have D-Wade, Kobe, Ben, LeBron, and Dwight Howard. What did Kobe average here? 27 a game, not bad at all. As the Lakers are going to be the 1 seed in the West, going 60 and 22 in the East. It was the Detroit Pistons, who also won 61 games. And no surprise here, as the Lakers have made the NBA Finals up against the Pacers, who do have Mike Conley, Jermaine O'Neal, and Bargnani is also on the team. They have a pretty good roster overall. It's very balanced, but we do have Kobe and, of course, Mr. Ben leading the way. The Lakers are going to end up dominating the Pacers in 5 games in the finals, and Ben is going to go on and win another title, this time with the Lakers. Kobe and Shaq, I believe, get their 4th title together. Regardless, the Lakers, there they are celebrating. As the reserves were in, the starters were on the bench. Ben is going to lead them to a title here in LA as we get to raise that Larry O'Brien trophy. And, of course, the finals MVP is going to go to Ben Dover, the best player ever. It is not even close at this point. In the finals, Ben is only going to average 36, 13, and 10 as we dominated the Pacers in 5 games. Shaq is going to retire after winning the title after 19 years, spend the rest of his career with LA after leaving Orlando early on in his career. Kawhi Leonard is going to go first overall to the Rockets. Kyrie will be going to the Nets. Jimmy Butler to the Knicks. Klay Thompson will be going to the Bobcats. Ben is obviously still a 99 overall. Kobe is still a 94, 33 years old, so he should start falling off in the next couple seasons. Ben is going to take home his 9th MVP of the video, this time averaging 37, 15, and 7. The Rookie of the Year is going to go to this guy. The 6th man to James Harden, and the DPOY will go back to Ben for the first time in like 2 seasons. On the first team, we have Gilbert Arenas, D-Wade, Ben, LeBron, and DeMarcus Cousins, who is now averaging 21 and 11 a game. What is LeBron averaging? He's averaging 38 and 7, so pretty good stats across the board. Still no success overall. The Lakers are going to be the 1 seed in the West, going 52 and 30, and in the East, it was the Cleveland Cavaliers, who went 59 and 23. Hopefully, we do end up meeting in the NBA Finals. That would be a dream finals matchup, and that would not happen as the Lakers are going to go on and win their 2nd straight title. Ben is your finals MVP, averaging 45, 17, and 8, as we would defeat the Hawks in 5 games in the finals. Cavs actually lost in the 2nd round to the Pistons in 6 games. Very disappointing. Ben Wallace is out of here after 16 years. Peja Stojakovic is gone. Andre Drummond is going to go 1st overall to the Grizzlies over Anthony Davis, who fell to the Spurs. Harrison Barnes will be going to the Sixers. Brad Beal will be going to the Nets. Ben obviously is still a 99 overall. Kobe has now dropped down to a 93. He is 34 years old, so I am expecting him to keep falling. It is not even close. I mean, LeBron is a 97. He's the closest that can compete with him. The rest are a lot older. I mean, Tim Duncan's a 96. Kevin Durant is up there at a 94. KG's 36 years old. Finally, someone other than Ben is going to steal the MVP. It would be LeBron James, averaging 29, 8, and 7. The Rookie of the Year will go to Anthony Davis. The 6th man to Ricky Rubio. And the Defensive Player of the Year award will go to Ben, who would also average only 29, 16, and 8. By far the worst season of his entire career. He's only 29 years old. On the first team, we have D-Rose, Stuckey, LeBron, Ben, and DeMarcus Cousins. As the Lakers are not even going to end up making the playoffs. What? We went 26 and 56, grabbing the 14 seed. Why did we just fall off a cliff? How are we this bad? I literally don't understand it. OKC was the best team in the West, and in the East, it was the Pistons. And the Detroit Pistons will go on and win the NBA title. Kevin Durant is your finals MVP, averaging 24, 11, and 9 as they defeat the Mavs in 5 games. Victor Oladipo is going to go 1st overall to the Knicks. Giannis will be going to the Grizzlies. Rudy Gobert to the Lakers, which should definitely help us out. So obviously, Ben is still a 99 overall. Kobe's still a 93. Jennings is still an 80. But somehow this team literally was one of the worst teams in the entire NBA last season. Hopefully we can return to our glory days, winning the title literally the season before that. Ben is going to have somewhat of a comeback season, winning the MVP, averaging 34, 13, and 7, while Giannis is going to win the Rookie of the Year to 6th man to Del Tatum, and the DPOY to LeBron, who is also averaging 28, 8, and 7. On the first team, we have D-Rose, Steph Curry, Ben Dover, LeBron, and Dwight Howard. The Lakers are going to finish as the 3rd seed, going 51 and 31. And just like that, we are back in the NBA Finals, this time up against the Indiana Pacers, who still have Mike Conley, who's a 92 and their best player. But we should be able to breeze by these guys. And the Lakers are going to get it done as we sweep the Pacers. Ben is your finals MVP, averaging 39, 12, and 9 a game. Jason Kidd is retired after 20 seasons. His last season was with the Atlanta Hawks for some reason. Nikola Jokic will go 1st overall to the Orlando Magic. Joel Embiid is going to the Sixers, just like he did in real life. Clint Capella to the Kings. Zach LaVine fell all the way down to the Pelicans. Andrew Wiggins to the Nets. So the Lakers, after winning the title, have gotten a little bit better. I mean, Kobe's back up to a 94, and Rudy Gobert is all the way up at an 84. Still very young though, 22 years old. Ben is going to win another MVP, this time averaging 41, 16, and 8. I don't even know how many he has at this point. He has 11 MVPs and 6 titles. Meanwhile, the Rookie of the Year will go to Jokic, the 6th man to Karl Bosch, and the DPOY will go back to LeBron James, also averaging 26, 8, and 7. Very good stats to his standards, but he hasn't really done much. He only has 1 MVP. On the first team, we have Curry, D. Rose, Ben, LeBron, and Boogie Cousins, as the Lakers are going to finish as the 3 seed, going 50 and 32. And the OKC Thunder are going to beat us in Game 7 of round number 2. A very shocking defeat. I thought we'd go back to the finals, honestly. As the Cavs would finally go on and win the NBA title, LeBron finally gets his very first ring and finals MVP as he averages 38 and 9. Ray Allen has retired after 19 years. Chauncey Billups is out of here. Allen Iverson is gone. Karl Anthony Towns went first overall to the Wizards. Tingus Pingus to the Sixers. Devin Booker will be going to the Magic. Ben honestly still has about 5 or 6 years, good years left in him before he ends up retiring at probably around 38, I'd say, 20 years in the league. So we still have time to win more titles and, of course, more MVPs. We already broke the record. I think we're at 11 now. Another MVP for Ben, averaging his usual stats. The Rookie of the Year will go to D'Lo, the 6th man again to this guy, and Ben is also going to take home that Defensive Player of the Year award. On the first team, we have James Harden, CP3, Ben Dover, LeBron, and Boogie Cousins. LA is going to be the 1 seed this season, going 59 and 23 in the East. It was the Atlanta Hawks who went 58 and 24. I honestly have no idea what happened to the Lakers, but we got dominated by Houston in round number 1 in 5 games. As the San Antonio Spurs will go on and win the NBA championship, Anthony Davis is your finals MVP as they beat the Bulls in Game 7. Kevin Garnett has retired after 21 years. Anything is possible, especially not leaving the Minnesota Timberwolves, where he spent his entire career there. The best work ethic in the game, Ben Simmons, is going to go first overall to the Sixers. That's not going to be a recipe for disaster whatsoever. Brandon Ingram fell all the way down to the Clippers. Jaylen Brown to the Wizards. He cannot go left whatsoever. DeJounte Murray to the Celtics. Jamal Murray to the Pacers. Ben is now 32 years old, still the best player in the entire league at a 91. Kobe's 38, but still a 93, so he should be fine. Rudy Gobert is all the way up at an 88 overall. I don't know why we keep losing series to teams that we should not be losing to. Again, Ben is going to take home the MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to DeJounte Murray, the 6th man to Karl Bosch, and Ben is also going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award. On the first team, we have Steph Curry, D. Rose, Ben, Kevin Durant, and Marc Gasol. LeBron is not there. LeBron's on the second team, only averaging 23, 8, and 7. The Lakers are going to be the 4 seed, going 48 and 34. And just like that, we are back in the NBA Finals, this time up against the Nets, who do have Kyrie Irving, which is hilarious. They also have Boogie Cousins and Andrew Wiggins and Bradley Beal. That is a very good team. But luckily, we would end up pulling off a Game 7 victory over them. Ben, of course, is your finals MVP, averaging 43, 14, and 6. Jermaine O'Neal has retired after 21 years. Paul Pierce is out of here after he took a shit. Donovan Mitchell is going to go first overall to the Bucks. Jason No Clutch Tatum to the Timberwolves. I mean, seriously, this guy is not clutch at the end of games whatsoever. He can have big games in the playoffs, but I mean, when it comes down to making that big shot, Kyle Kuzma will be going to the Pistons, De'Aaron Fox to the Sixers. Endover is getting up there in age, 33 years old, but he's still a 99 and the best player on the entire planet, or pretty much any other planet in the entire universe. I mean, Rudy Gobert's up to a 90, Kobe's a 91, so we do have somewhat of a big 3 here in LA, and is going to go ahead and win another MVP, the Rookie of the Year to Donovan Mitchell, the 6th man to Ben Simmons, and LeBron is going to win the Defensive Player of the Year award. He's kind of washed, honestly, only averaging 22 points a game. On the first team, we have Curry, D. Rose, Ben, KD, and Nikola Jokic. And the LA Lakers would fall to the 4 seed, going 53 and 29. OKC was the best in the West, and in the East, it was the Atlanta Hawks. Yet again, we are back in the NBA Finals, this time up against LeBron and the Cavs. We finally got our finals dream match between LeBron and Ben Dover. Let's see who's going to go out on top here in the NBA Finals. And just like that, Ben and the Lakers are going to get it done in 6 games over LeBron and the Cavs. Ben is going to average 38, 16, and 6 for the finals, outplaying LeBron James. That was a matchup that we could not lose whatsoever. Kobe is retired after 22 years, 39 years old. Luka Doncic is going to go first overall to the Pacers. DeAndre Ayton will be going to the Knicks. Mo Bamba to the Timberwolves. Trae Young fell all the way down to the Raptors. Even without Kobe, we should still be able to compete. I mean, Rudy Gobert is a 90 and Ben is still a 99. Anthony Davis is going to steal the MVP MVP, averaging 28, 11, and 3 a game. The Rookie of the Year will go to Trae Young, and the DPOY will go to LeBron James. So for the first time, I believe, in his entire career, Ben is not going to take home any award at the end of the season. On the first team, we do have John Wall, D. Rose, Anthony Davis. Ben did not even make the first team, nor the second team, nor the third team. He had to have been injured. There's no way. So Ben is actually going to average 33, 13, and 7 a game, not make a single All-NBA team. I mean, he did only end up playing 43 games, so that's probably why he missed a big chunk of the season. 35 years old, getting up there in age. A lot of injuries over the course of his career, a lot more than I expected. The Lakers would end up missing the playoffs because Ben literally missed like half the season, as they were the 15 seed going 27 and 55. As the Spurs will go on and win the NBA title, Anthony Davis is your finals MVP, averaging 30 and 11 as they beat the Hawks in Game 7. Ja Morant is going to go first overall to the Heat. Zion fell to the Bucks. RJ Barrett will be coming to LA. Obviously, Ben is still a 99 overall, is getting up there in age though, 35 years old. AD is going to go back-to-back, winning another MVP, averaging 32 and 12. The Rookie of the Year will go to Zion, and the Defensive Player of the Year world, AD is going to go back-to-back, yet again winning another MVP, this time averaging 32 and 12. The Rookie of the Year will go to Zion, and the DPOY to Ben. Pretty much the worst stats of his entire career. I mean, he is 36 years old, getting up there in age, but still. The Lakers would just barely make the playoffs, going 42 and 40, grabbing the 6th seed. And we are back in the NBA Finals up against their heated rival in LeBron and the Cavs. LeBron is at 95 overall, so he's still very good, but hopefully Ben can go on and win another NBA title, and he's not going to get to do that as the Cavs would go on and win the title. LeBron is your finals MVP, averaging 22, 7, and 7. Though this draft is very weird, as LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and Tyrese Halliburton have fallen to 3, 4, and 5. James Wiseman will be going to the Clippers. Obviously, Ben is still going to be a 99. We did pick up Clint Capella, who's an 83 overall from the Detroit Pistons, averaging 15 and 11. Anthony Davis is going to win another MVP. The Rookie of the Year will go to Anthony Edwards, and the DPOY back to bend over for probably like the 12th or 13th time. First team, we have Ross, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis, Ben, and Jokic, as the LA Lakers are going to miss the playoffs, being the 12th seed, going 37 and 45. And somehow the Charlotte Hornets are going to go on and win the title. Anthony Davis, for some reason, is getting the finals MVP. Instead, it's going to be a leading scorer, which is Gordon Hayward, averaging 25 a game. Kwame Brown is out of here, as well as Tony Parker. Carlos Boozer's gone, and bend over after 18 seasons in the NBA has decided to call it a career. At 37 years old, he did only average 25, 11, and 6 last season, but I mean, overall, he averaged great stats for basically his entire career. For his entire career, he's going to average 36, 15, and 8 per game, 2 blocks, and 1.5 or almost 2 steals per game. Now, for his accolades, he's going to be an 8-time champion, 14-time league MVP, 8-time finals MVP, only a 15-time All-Star, so he missed it 3 years of his career, 17 times in the first team All-NBA, and of course, he won 12 Defensive Player of the Year awards, by far the best offensive and defensive player. He is going to end up finishing as the all-time NBA scorer at 47,253 points. LeBron's also going to probably end up hitting 40K. He's going to have the second most field goals made. For three-pointers, he's going to be number 1 over Steph Curry with 4,797. For free throws, he was number 1 with 10,000 all-time. For rebounds, he was up there third, 19,000. For assists, he would only end up being 10th at 10,000. Blocks, he was not really that close to the top, only 10th all-time. For steals, he was 8th all-time. He's not even going to be close for the all-time games played. He would end up with 411 triple-doubles, 151 50-point games, 480 40-point games. Obviously going to go down as the greatest player in the history of the game. And that is going to do it for this video, boys. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I went ahead and created the greatest player of all time, hands down. I mean, the records he set, the stats he put up, the amount of wins he won. I mean, 8 titles is incredible, as well as 14 MVPs and I believe 12 DPOIs. There is literally no debate. This guy's the greatest ever. Ben made everybody bend over in the NBA during his time. Let me know in the comments what you guys would like to see next. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.